Right guys, Mark Crossfield here. I'm here with Chris, who has been with Odyssey 7 years, Callaway, how many?
10 years now.
So you've been in the company a long time,
Yep.
and you've been working on Odyssey putters for a long time. So not much that Chris doesn't know about Odyssey. So we're going to quiz you about Big T range, which I'm quite interested in looking. They're quite funky in lots of ways. So let's talk to Chris about Odyssey Works Big T putters. Let's get stuck in. Right, Chris, what's the ideas around Big T? As I look at them, it's alignment, it's contrasting colours. What's the big brief? Where are we going with these fellas?
That's right. Well, key pillars for us from a technology standpoint are feel and alignment for the most part.
Okay.
And with this putter line, we're looking at alignment specifically. And we've had a lot of success with our Versa line in the past, but it was about a year ago, April, and Austin Rollinson, our head designer, and I were sitting in Tokyo at a tour event, and we saw a player that had a V-line putter similar to this, but didn't have any of this white on it. Our tour department over there had put one line across the top here, and we thought that was just a really cool alignment feature. T-shape alignment has been around for a long time. Yeah. Simply looked at Austin and said, well, what if we made that bigger?
Right, yeah.
And
Big T.
And within a few minutes, we had a sketch of something that we thought was really cool. Came back to Carlsbad, prototyped it, and it really gives us the best of both worlds between our Versa alignment, which gives you a real perpendicular feel towards the target, and kind of our old school marksman alignment, which gives you that parallel to your target alignment piece. So again, best of both worlds.
Absolutely. I mean, I use a Versa putter, so I am loving the contrasting colours. I really like the black to the white, because on some of the Odyssey Works it's gone a bit more grey, hasn't it?
Yes,
which I actually wasn't as big a fan of, to be honest. I'm liking back to the high contrast. So have you guys got any data on, I mean, you've got big alignment lines on all these putters, so from the kind of T-shape here one, which this is my favourite. I remember Jasper Parnevik once. You remember Jasper Parnevik? He used to putt with some of the funkiest putters ever. And he had one which was like a little barrel. It was almost like a little kind of long barrel, and it kind of reminds me of that. And I used to always pick that putter up in a shop and love it. So this one I'm liking lots. These ones are more kind of classic half moony shapes.
That's right, that's right.
Loving the contrast and the tees. And you've got a centre shafted version. And
kind of a standard double bend shaft.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got kind of a few different shapes and different shafts and what have you to kind of suit eyes and feels, I presume. So lots of people often ask me as well, centre shaft to this neck. And what's the advantage apart from maybe pure your feel and looks of what you want a putter to do?
You know, so much of it is look, but a lot of it's also set up to the ball and how people deliver the face back to square. And so typically when people have a little bit more of a straight stroke, their eyes are a little bit further over the ball, they can stand a look at a center shaft, get good alignment properties, but deliver the face back to square. You don't see as much center shaft in the market as we did maybe 10 years ago, really. In fact, this is our only center shaft offering in the States right now.
So you're saying center shafted for people with a straighter stroke sometimes makes more sense to them?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think what's always interesting as well with putters, and it's why people ask that question about why should I have a center shaft or not. Let's pretend I was someone with a very kind of in to square to in stroke, but I love the center shaft. I'm sure you wouldn't stop me using it.
I wouldn't stop you from using it, but I might
adjust
adjust a couple things in the way that you deliver the putter back. And so maybe getting a little bit further over the ball. One thing we see with people who have a more arc stroke with the center shaft is they don't close the face at impact. They tend to be a little further away from the ball. So I would just, make a conscious effort to make sure that you're releasing the putter if you're going to go that route.
So the face is being delivered kind of right of zero square is what you're saying with that. Okay, well that's very interesting. Now obviously with the big lines, I've done a few tests which we were talking about earlier where between the people, the trouble is with my tests, you probably need to be doing, I don't know, you guys are the clever ones, 500 people, I'm like doing 10 people because I just haven't got the amount of people who want to putt for me. But I didn't actually see that much difference from big lines to no lines on putters. What's your test show? What's your take on that story? Because obviously these are very big lined alignment aided putters. My very limited tests have shown I don't really see much difference. What do you think?
Everyone sees something different when they look down at a putter, and prescriptive putter fitting is so difficult because of that, because so much of it is preference. But one thing that we have looked at, and it's a small database at this point, but we have noticed that some people that have longer lines, longer extended lines, will tend to aim a little bit left. And if you do have that problem aiming anything left, you can get rid of all the sight lines and maybe go with just the pure Versa look, and tend to get the ball going back towards the right, or your aim going back towards the right a little bit.
That's it. I mean, I've never heard that before. Yeah. That's really interesting. Excellent. Okay, so we got big alignment lines. You got the contrast in the colours, which is great. Obviously, you got the Odyssey branding. Now, I'm a big fan of your old insert. This one's got the new, what are we calling this? It's like a kind of cheese grater, meshy
It is
thing.
a bit of a cheddar shredder. It's a Fusion RX insert. Yeah.
Okay, and this is doing what for people?
It's giving you a little bit better roll on the ball. So, you know, as we looked at our lineup, what was in play on tour, what was our most successful insert of all time was our White Hot. And, you know, up until 2 years ago, 90% of our tour players were playing with some form of White Hot insert.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, not mind-boggling to us. We understood when people hit a 5-foot putt, they want to see a 5-foot putt, they want to hear a 5-foot putt. Yeah. And so what our mission for this insert was to try and make it feel as much like White Hot as possible, but give a little bit better roll, get the ball in contact with the ground and rolling a little bit better.
Okay, it's interesting. What I find as well with this insert is if I hit your golf ball, the chrome soft ball, then it does feel more like my old putter.
Goes back to White Hot.
Yeah, right. Which is quite, I always think, quite an interesting combination. I don't use your ball. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I've said it.
We'll work
so
on that.
So I find this slightly a bit firm for me. I
firmer.
still quite like the old one. But I mean, from the tests again I've done with people as well, it's such a small thing. No one really picks it up. I'm just a bit fussy with my putting. I like putting a lot, you see. It's always been one of my...
We're used to dealing with fussy.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. So there's big T, alignment lines, a few different necks, all the same colourway, but you've got that real kind of big contrasting stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, good. I'm liking it. Post comments down below, guys. Is this something you want to try or not? Do you think it's something that could help you or not? I'd love to hear. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for your info. All very interesting as always. Speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more videos. Find me on Instagram @CrossfieldMark. Also on Twitter @4GolfOnline. Find me on Facebook, Mark Crossfield. Thanks for watching. Post comments as always, and see you soon.